Your hands are shaking again, the king said coldly. Pour the wine properly, or I'll pour your blood on this floor. The great hall fell silent. This was King Dandolo of Zambara, the man whose shadow alone made grown men kneel. The same king who once ruled with iron fists and a smiling mouth. But on this night, something was different. The servant did not tremble. Instead, he lifted his head slowly and said, "Then do it, Your Majesty. I am tired of being afraid." Gasps filled the palace. Nobody had ever spoken to King Dandolo like that and lived. Zambara was a wealthy kingdom, blessed with gold soil and obedient people. But peace never lived there. Not because of war, but because of King Dandolo. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes as sharp as a blade. He enjoyed fear the way others enjoyed wine. If a farmer delayed tax, the king burned his crops. If a guard made a mistake, he was flogged publicly. If a wife cried too loudly in mourning, she was accused of witchcraft. Mercy makes men weak, Dandolo often said. A king must rule with pain. The palace servants were his favorite victims. He insulted them, humiliated them, reminded them daily that their lives belonged to him. And they endured. Because who challenges a king? One dry season morning, a new servant arrived at the palace gate. His name was Kafa. He was not tall. He was not muscular. He wore simple brown robes and spoke softly. "Do you know where you are?" the captain asked mockingly. "Yes," Kafa replied calmly. "Where people fear one man more than death." The captain laughed and let him in. Kafa worked silently. He swept, carried water, served meals. He never complained. Never begged. Never flinched. That alone disturbed the king. "Why doesn't that one fear me?" Dandolo asked one night. "Perhaps he is foolish," the chief servant said. The king smiled. "Then I will teach him wisdom." Dandolo began testing Kafa. He spilled food deliberately and ordered Kafa to lick it from the floor. Kafa cleaned it, but never bowed his head. The king insulted his parents. Kafa only said, "They raised me well enough to stand." One afternoon, the king struck Kafa in front of the court. Kafa steadied himself. And smiled. That smile burned into the king's chest. "Do you think I cannot kill you?" Dandolo snapped. Kafa met his eyes. "No, Your Majesty. I know you can. That is why your power is small." The hall froze. From that day, the king could not sleep properly. Then something strange began to happen. The servants started whispering less. The guards obeyed more slowly. The people began looking at the king differently. Fear was fading. And it angered Dandolo. One night, during a feast, the king collapsed in pain. His chest burned, his breath failed. "Kafa!" he shouted weakly. "Bring water." Kafa knelt calmly beside him. "Your Majesty," he said softly, "this is how helpless men feel every day under your rule." The king stared at him in horror. "You poisoned me?" Kafa shook his head. "No. Fear did. The healers arrived and saved the king." But something inside Dandolo had cracked. Later that night, the king summoned Kafa privately. "Who are you?" Dandolo demanded. Kafa took a deep breath. "My real name is Kafa Malu. My father was your tax collector." The king frowned. "You ordered him beaten for missing gold he never stole. He died 3 days later. My mother followed him a month after." Silence. "I came to kill you," Kafa continued. "But when I watched you, I saw something worse than death." The king swallowed. "What?" "A man already rotting inside." Kafa knelt, not in fear, but in truth. I became your mirror. I wanted you to feel what you made others feel. Power without mercy is not strength, it is sickness. Tears filled the king's eyes for the first time in his life. Why didn't you expose me? He whispered. Kafa replied. Because a king forced to change is dangerous. A king who understands is reborn. The next morning, King Dandolo did the unthinkable. He stood before the people and apologized. He released prisoners, returned seized lands, ended public punishments. Many thought it was a trick. But it wasn't. The king had met his match, not in strength, but in truth. Kafa left the palace quietly. Years later, when people spoke of the golden age of Zambara, they didn't praise King Dandolo's power. They praised the day fear met courage. And lost. Power without compassion creates enemies even within peace. Those who rule with cruelty plant seeds they will one day harvest. And sometimes, the people sent to confront us are not meant to destroy us, but to restore our humanity.